I now call the East Lyme Zoning Commission regular meeting of May 7th, 2026 to order at 7:28 p.m. If we could begin by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and welcome everyone that came tonight. We have a recording secretary. She'll be taking notes from the recording, but she's not here in person. So try to speak clearly and loudly so she can understand everything from the recording. Okay, Ms. Harris?
Here.
Ms. Kalal?
Here.
Ms. Markovitz?
Here.
Mr. Peck is not here tonight. I'm here. Ms. Juhas?
Here.
Ms. Edwards? Mr. Liska? He is not here tonight. Ms. Sesko? Not here. Sometimes she comes in later. Mr. Mulholland we have with us tonight. And Ms. Hardy, our ex officio. First on the agenda tonight is our executive session. So I need a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion we go into executive session. I'll second it.
Wait.
If I might, I think the motion should indicate that it will be to discuss pending litigation.
Okay.
Duval Partners versus Lyme Zoning Commission.
I make a motion that we adjourn to an executive session to discuss pending litigation between Duval Partners and the town East Lyme Zoning Commission.
Make sure and talk closely to your microphone, just since we don't have a person here recording. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, we'll go to the conference room
We'll be
and
back. We'll be back.
We'll have a conference room for about 15-20 minutes. We're going to leave you all here. The television's on, but
No
you're
game.
not, I don't think. So we'll be back, and then we'll proceed with the meeting. Mr. Earl, I think the record should indicate that Mr. Mulholland and myself and alternates are going to attend executive session.
all right, we have,
Seat the alternate.
yes, Ms. Edwards, could you take note Mr. Peck's place tonight? So the zoning commission, Mr. Mulholland and Attorney Carey will be in the executive session. Mr. Mulholland?
I like doing those in that conference room. The chairs are better than in here. Oh, yeah, way better.
The mics are on, guys.
I'll wait a minute for Mr. Mulholland.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. For the record, our executive session ended at 7:52 p.m. The attendees were Debbie Jett Harris, Nancy Kalal, Denise Markovitz, Ann Thurlow, Kathy Juhas, Carrie Edwards, Sarah Sesko, Bill Mulholland, and Attorney Carey. No votes were taken. I think that's all the information we need for the record. So we will continue on with our public hearing. First, we have the application of Peter Iflin for a special permit under section 16.1.3b, Title Marsh Docks of the East Lyme zoning regulations to remove and construct a new dock on property located on Old Black Point Road, Assessor's Map 08.3, Lot 1, opposite 100R Old Black Point Road. An issue came up with this, and he is waiting for Deep to look at something. So if we could have a motion to continue.
I make a motion we continue the public hearing.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 6-0-0. We will continue this public hearing. Next, we have the application of Coastal Crust LLC for a special permit under Section 20.25, Restaurant Outdoor Dining of the East Lyme zoning regulations for property located at 228 Flanders Road. This was continued from our last meeting, April 23rd. We will open the public hearing. Mr. Mulholland, did you run the legal ad?
Yes, we did, Madam Chair. This particular application is for outdoor dining. It's not a renewal, it's an initial application. I've looked at it. In my opinion, it's going to comply with all the applicable regulations. I think it's an improvement over what we have out there. It should be helpful. The applicant is here to answer any basic questions. I don't have any issues with this particular application, and I suggest you move it forward.
Okay, and this would be Ms. O'Rourke.
Hi,
If you could state your name and address for the record.
Lauren O'Rourke, 25 Billow Road, Niantic, Connecticut.
Thank you. Feel free to go ahead.
Okay, it's my first time doing this, so.
Okay.
Looking to do an outdoor patio in the front area. There's about 4 parking spaces over there that are very close to the road. It's about 26 feet to the road. Sometimes it's a little scary when the cars pull in. So I think that that would be a really great area for a patio, and especially that's one of the main roads coming into town. So I'm thinking of putting the smaller mafia blocks, which are the concrete blocks, the 2x2x3, and then putting some wood on top of it and kind of make it like a planter. So it will kind of be safe, or not kind of, will be safe, but it will look nicer than a regular mafia block.
So the idea is, if I may, is to make it presentable, but we need the mafia blocks underneath the piece of brick. The idea is to drop these structures over the mafia block to hide any of those.
For safety, yeah.
Yeah.
But the mafia blocks are probably for safety, so if you're sitting there with somebody who's in the car, they will be there to protect you. And, it's an architectural technique to make it more attractive. And as we all know, if you look at the building as it is, it's come a long way.
It looks, yeah, it's looking great.
I'm hoping for the frost not to come, so I can put some plants out there.
All of us are hoping for that.
Do you have any questions?
I have questions.
Yes.
I'm in total support.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
so as I went by, I noticed that there's a significant drop-off from the road to the property, and now you are using a brick surface?
So that's just for like how I did it through the computer. I'm just going to use the regular, the
Blacktop?
the pavement that's there.
So there is a height discrepancy between the road and it drops
yeah,
down
it's
like this.
a
How are you
slight-
fixing that?
I'm not going to fix it. So some of the tables will just be a little higher.
A little askew?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a slope, so it doesn't drop down like that.
It is a slope.
It looks like, yeah, but the way the tables would sit would be flat. It wouldn't be like tipping over or anything like that.
Yeah, during COVID, they had tables out there, and they
Yeah.
were fine.
And these sure look nicer than the Jersey blocks that were out there.
Yes.
So we're going to put the Jersey blocks, but with just a little
Well,
pizzazz
you're hiding them nicely, yes.
and lots of plants. So
I like
And the
that.
twinkly lights?
hopefully, yeah.
Are there any other questions? I think it looks great.
I think it looks
I
wonderful.
like the idea.
And I like it because right where it's at, the people coming into town, they see that, and it just is inviting.
So are the mafia blocks sitting on top of
They'd be on the pavement.
they're on the pavement?
Yep.
The road pavement or the,
So not the street pavement, not the Flanders Road, but they would be, well, some on Flanders Road side, but it would be on our property.
So
So
if I may, Nancy, if I can get off of.
But you got to speak into the microphone.
Down, but the mafia blocks will probably be at the base, and obviously you're not going to be able to drive in that area any further, so that'll all be blocked off. So we don't think it'd be problematic. Is there danger of the anomaly, the odd car that has an accident? Absolutely, but that's anywhere to go, whether it's on Main Street or somewhere else. So I think those blocks will be essentially pushed towards the road as far as the slope will allow, without making them unstable. And that, once we get out and start placing them, that'll be done based on conditions on site while they're being installed. And so they may move a little, a foot here, a foot there. But it will end up essentially looking like the application package that's presented in the plan.
If you look at the property card, it has the COVID patio that they have there, but with the larger mafia blocks not covered and the picnic tables.
No, I'm not, I'm just,
No, just so you know, because I looked it up yesterday, so I saw it. I was like, oh, I remember this.
Okay, if the commission doesn't have any more questions, is there anyone from the audience that wants to make comments for this project? Against the project? Any neutral comments? No? So I think we're ready to close this, if you will.
I make a motion, we close the public hearing.
I second. All those in favor to close this public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Close 600. Thank you. We'll move on to the application of Candace Devis, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, for Devs on Main for renewal of special permit for outdoor dining at 255 Main Street, Niantic. This was continued from April 23rd. Mr. Mulholland said he did run the legal ad and he will be presenting for her.
As I know, as we did at the last meeting where we did 17, 18, 20 of these, this is just a standard renewal. We haven't completed all the paperwork, we have all that now. So my recommendation is approval with existing conditions, which match the same as you've had before. And I was actually over there Monday or Tuesday. And so this is just a routine renewal housekeeping.
can I ask a question? All these fees do not add up to $80.
Yeah. And I'm not adding those fees because the renewal is a different fee than what you're seeing. I'm not sure which form you have.
I don't know, it just says special permit fee, $150, outdoor dining renewal, $20, site plan
They
fee,
didn't have to do
$300,
any of that.
stormwater fee, $300.
It's a different charge depending
And
on the.
does it matter
Some
that,
do not apply.
Okay,
does it matter that this isn't signed, or do you have a signed
We're
copy?
okay with that.
Okay.
We have a copy somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anyone from the audience that wants to speak for or against outdoor dining at Devs on Main? No? Are we ready to close this?
I make a motion we close the hearing.
Second.
Debs.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? It passed 600 to close the hearing. We'll move on to the application of Roderick Cornish for Charlie's for renewal of special permit for outdoor dining at 26 West Main Street, Niantic, and this was continued from April 23rd. We'll open the public hearing. I know the legal ads were run, and Mr. Mulholland is doing the presentation on this one.
Another routine renewal. We didn't do it at the last meeting because the applicant hadn't completed, what should I say? We didn't have all the fees, so staff suggested we make. We have what we need now, and this is just a routine renewal with existing conditions.
Can I ask a question now that Mrs. Kowal brought something up? Why does it have all these? I'm just curious, just to learn something. Like, why is it outdoor dining fee renewal is $20, permit fee is $150, site plan fee is $30. So that means if it was, and the stormwater is $300, state fee is $60, total due is $80.
Because the form you're looking at is a multi-use form.
Okay.
Rather than have 20 forms, we use one and then we apply fees depending on the activity proposed.
Okay, I understand that, but you do realize that the total due is $80, and there is no fee in here for $80 for a multi-use
It's,
farm.
20 for outdoor dining renewal and 60 for a state fee.
There we go.
I
Takes a
only know 'cause
village,
I've done
Denise.
these before.
Okay, if we don't have any questions on this, is there anyone from the audience that has a comment for, against? No? Do we have a motion to close the hearing on this one?
I make a motion we close the hearing on Charlie's Place.
I second that.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. We close the hearing 600. We will move on to our regular meeting. Again, the application of Peter Iflin for special permit is continued because of an issue with deep. Next, we'll move on to vote on the application of Coastal Crest LLC for a special permit under Section 20.25 Restaurant Outdoor Dining of the East Lyme zoning regulation for property located at 228 Flanders Road, continued from April 23rd.
I'll make a motion that we approve the application of Coastal Crest LLC for a special permit under Section 2025 Restaurant Outdoor Dining of the East Lyme zoning regulations for property located at 228 Flanders Road.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? It passed 600. Happy dining. Next, we have the application of Candace Devenditas for Devs on Main for renewal of special permit for outdoor dining at 255 Main Street, Niantic, continued from April 23rd.
I make a motion that we approve the application of Candace Devenditas for Devs on Main for renewal of special permit of outdoor dining at 255 Main Street, Niantic.
I second.
It's been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? It passed 600. Next, the application of Roderick Corners for Charlie's for renewal of special permit for outdoor dining at 26 West Main Street, Niantic, continued from April 23rd.
I make a motion that we accept the application of Roderick Cornish for Charlie's for renewal of special permit for outdoor dining at 26 West Main Street, Niantic.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? It passed 600. Thank you. I assume everyone read the 4 sets of minutes that were emailed out?
Yes.
Are there any, does anybody need to amend them, or everyone's good?
I didn't see anything in the 2 meetings that I attended. There were 2 meetings here that I was
So I
not
guess we
there.
should vote on each one separately then.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the March 19th, 2026 regular meeting.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Okay, they were approved 600.
The next one is, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of April 9th, 2026 regular meeting.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain?
Abstain.
Okay, it passed 501, one abstention. Okay, next.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of April 20th, 2026 special meeting.
Is there a second?
I second.
There's a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes of April 20th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I abstain.
Abstain.
And those who abstained. So how many abstained?
2.
Okay, we have 2 abstentions, Ms. Kalal and Ms. Markovitz, but
And me abstaining. I wasn't there.
we have 3 abstentions.
But if they read them, they can approve them, correct?
That's true.
But I wasn't there to know whether,
If you read the minutes,
But if you didn't see the meeting,
I don't know that the minutes were accurate.
we could hold these till next meeting. When
No, let's just get through them now.
it takes 4 people to approve.
yeah.
Oh,
All right, so I'll make a motion that we hold off on the minutes of the April 2026 special meeting until the next
No,
meeting,
the regular meeting.
the regular meeting. So it's a special meeting. 2020,
We did that one already.
right. No,
No, that's the
2020 is the third one.
I think
We're on it now.
But we were on 23.
Okay, we have a motion to approve these, continue with, I don't know how to say this.
It's number C. We haven't done number D yet.
No, number C, we did not approve.
Right, that's what I just made the motion for, that we'll look at them in 2 weeks.
Okay, did we have a second?
Okay, excuse me, but
Yeah.
an abstention, as long as they state that they read the minutes and have no questions, they can vote.
Even if they
Okay.
didn't watch the video?
Correct.
oh,
And
Well,
they
there you
each
go.
stated that they read the
All right,
minutes.
let's
in that
revote.
case,
Thank you.
All right.
I'll do it again.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 2026 meeting, the special meeting.
All those who vote to approve the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
I guess they're approved. Opposed? Abstained? They passed 600. Thank you, Roseanne. Next, we have the minutes of April 23rd.
I make a motion we approve the minutes of April 23, 2026, regular meeting.
I second that.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? We approve the minutes 600. Thank you. I know it was a lot of reading. We do not have any old business. We have come to the subcommittee reports, and I believe we have one on short-term rentals. Do either of the committee members want to?
Yes, we have, we're at this time now where we have gathered the data from multiple sources, multiple public hearings. So it's proposed to amend a zoning regulation to permit and regulate short-term rentals as follows. So this is what Kathy and I had come up with since we were assigned for the subcommittee. So it would be to amend Section 20, add a new Section 20.29, which will read, short-term rentals. Within the town zoning authority, as identified on the Commission's official zoning map, short-term rentals, as the term is defined in Section 1.65.1 of the zoning code, is permitted in the following zoning districts. A, CA commercial. B, CB commercial. C, the use shall only be permitted in mixed-use buildings in the residential component subject to the following regulations. D, the short-term rental shall be registered with the zoning department prior to any use. E, the short-term rental shall be a minimum of 14 days and occupied by one family. F, on-site parking shall be provided for all occupants. G, the parking shall be in addition to that which is required for the approved use of the building. H, contact information for short-term rental shall be provided on the leasee and property owner. I, the permit to operate may be revoked if more than 3 verified complaints are received for unruly behavior. J, the short-term rental must receive a short-term rental permit from the zoning department prior to operating. Each permit shall be valid for 1 year from the date of issuance. K, the permit fee shall be $500. So these are some of the things that we came up with. Mr. Mullen, I'd like to ask you a question before we move on to the commission members for any questions they might have. So it is to our understanding that short-term rentals that are already there, town attorney has stated that we have to grandfather them in.
That's my understanding. You get into the issue of nonconformities. We know from our earlier conversations that we talked about our regulations are written in a permissive fashion. Doesn't say you can't. So therefore, if somebody's conducting an activity that's not approvable in the zoning code, it's not allowed. We had several discussions about that sort of thing. The other theory is that you adopt a new regulation, everything that proceeded before it is grandfathered. And that seems to be the advice we have been given on the existing functioning uses for SDRs.
So my question is, how, like, someone could come to the office and say, well, I have had one, how do they prove it? Like, if someone just wants to start one,
Because you can go
I've
on,
always had one, how do we know?
you can go on Airbnb, it'll have, the dates. I mean, it's verifiable.
Okay, if you feel
It-
comfortable with that.
I do have a question on the grandfathering part of it. Does that include summer cottage rentals? I know one of the entire reasons we're here is because my husband used to rent cottages down here in Pine Grove specifically for a week at a time, and this says 14 days.
Right.
So,
And that's a very good question that we need to vet that.
I think so, because I think it's going to,
It's one of the things we discussed. It's commonplace to go to a beach area and rent a cottage for a week. Most everybody's done it growing up or had children that they take it for a week for somewhere, whether it's Maine or not. And
The problem that I'm sorry.
go ahead.
The problem that the people brought up at the public hearings and the data specifically stated that If it's less than 14 days, then it's going to be a problem, especially in the residential communities that do not have partial zoning or their own zoning, because we're not touching those. Those are going to continue to run as they have been. So there's only two communities that are the beach communities. It's Pine Grove and it's Oak Grove Beach. So they don't have their own zoning, but people buy houses, and the houses in Pine Grove, several residents came out for different various public hearings, and they were pretty well attended for a lot of them. Young families are buying homes in residential neighborhoods expecting to live a residential life with their families and not to have businesses running within a revolving door of people all the time, and it kind of deflated the whole residential experience, and it really affected people's lives. So that was quite a challenge that a lot of, that we had faced with doing all this research, and many public hearings and talking to, people that were on the committee. I mean, this has been going on almost 3 years, I believe. Former Selectman Mr. Siri is the one who formed the short-term rental group, the committee, and they spent extensive time, several public hearings, and it was loud and clear. People don't want them in residential areas because they are deemed a business, and you're living essentially right next to a hotel.
So if I may, that's where your 14 days came from.
Mhm.
To answer on Mr. Markowitz's question, I will note that Crescent Beach, Black Point, and Giants Neck Beach have their own zoning that will be affected by this.
I see.
And those are primarily the beach
Yeah.
areas that are commonly known as places where you would like.
Well, I just know, like, for my own family, if we were going to, we probably couldn't afford more than a week. So if you're talking restricting people to having to go over 2 weeks, I would have a problem with that.
Mr. Mulholland, can you clarify what you just said about Crescent Beach and the other communities? So I understand that they have their own zoning in their community.
So
Thanks.
a special act of the legislature, I don't have the dates, so many years ago, they were granted the opportunity and the authority to enact their own zoning regulations, so they're exempt from the town's zoning regulations. In Black Point, Crescent Beach, and those are defined on our zoning map, which is Judy
Giants
Lake,
Neck.
and Giants Neck Beach, so they can create their own zoning regulations within that legal authority, which they have done and have had for many years. The only thing we do, we have some authority on FEMA because it's contained within your zoning regulations, but it's also in the town ordinance. So those zoning regulations that you have are exactly identical to the town ordinance. I apply those to the Crescent Beach, Giants Neck Beach, and the Black Point activities when we're conducting activities in the FEMA flood zone. So those two sets of regs are identical, so that's why we have a town ordinance, so that they will apply equally to those beach areas that have their own separate zoning under the FEMA, which is really a federal program. In addition, as you may have realized, we also do coastal area management, which is sort of essentially an unfunded DEP program to protect coastal resources. And it's, you may have heard that, I think it was the last one we explained, that there's a new legislation that changed some of the activities in the zone and that was recently passed by the legislature. If you're building a new single-family house, they knock down a rebuild or brand new, and you're in the coastal zone, which is approximately 1,500 feet from the coast, you have to do a coastal area management site plan review before the zoning board, where previously that was exempted unless it was within 100 feet of certain coastal resources such as beaches, dunes, tidal wetlands, etc. And the idea is to protect those coastal resources from any potential adverse impact from the proposed activity, the construction of a dwelling. And if it's a steep slope, that can have some significant issues with that. But typically, if it's a flat lot, those issues are mitigated by installation of soil and erosion controls and other methodologies to control any potential runoff that might adversely impact any of the coastal resources. And we've done several of them this year, and we have a few more in the wings that will be coming forward because of the change in statute. In addition, those applications are required to be referred to the UEP coastal area 35 days. So it's about a 40-day turnaround. So it's an added level of review. Not sure why people went that way. I can heard an explanation, but that's their choice. So it's just more work for the zoning board and for applicants, but I think people big picture are looking to understand all the data statewide and looking to protect the coastal resources. So that's an activity we have to conduct. So hopefully I've answered your question and not been late for it.
The other thing maybe you could share from Attorney Bleasdale, if there are subdivisions within residential areas in their like HOA rules, that takes precedence over as,
HOA rules are
Yeah.
essentially private zone.
Mhm.
You're going to have the towns, and we have several examples of those. Spinnakers, when we talk about the Chapman's farms and so forth, and they have their own rules. Your zoning regs apply because you approved all those developments under certain very specific and specialized zoning regulations. So they're continuously obligated to comply with those regulations. But in addition, you'll have another layer, which will be the homeowners association, and they generally have a lot of additional.
because they may say no short-term rentals at all, and then that would apply to that.
That's right,
Yeah,
because generally, in your homeowners association, all the land is collectively held by all the people who own into the development, and you make up those kinds of rules.
And one of the beach communities has a restricted deed
And you will have that.
that
as well.
clearly states that it's for residence use only.
And is that Pine Grove? Do they do that? Or?
I don't want to make that comment.
Okay, I'm just curious about
No,
Pine
it's
Grove.
not Pine Grove.
Pine Grove does have a restrictive deed.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
You will find restricted deeds all over.
And that takes precedent.
Deeds, if you're looking to buy property or bought property, it's important to use the deeds.
Okay.
And the rentals now in this area have inflated so much that, you know, to get an Airbnb here, that even a regular rental and stuff, I mean, everybody's getting a good market price, and I think that the 14 days was a good compromise. It wasn't a no, and there's a lot of towns in our area that have said no. Noank is one of them. They're a cute little community. Parts of Groton, there were some other towns. There was a lot of towns. So a lot of towns, we found out through the data, showed that they allowed them, and they were functioning, and they were doing it for a period of time, and then there was so many complaints, then they stopped it. They went back to the zoning commission, and then their town absolutely said no to all of them.
I think the 2 weeks helps weeds out people that just want to, some of the people that rent and come and have parties and loud noise. I know there's one in Oswegatchie that was even advertised as a party house.
No, that was in Pine Grove.
Well, there was another one in Oswegatchie, I think.
Yeah, so I just want to add to that there was a lot of public comment about the fact that shorter-term rentals tended to be the party houses, and in a residential area, it was not a great idea. So that was one of the reasons for the 2 weeks also.
And it's hard to regulate them. You know, if you say a week, then they're going to let people come there for 2 and 3 days. They're not going to follow them. We know historically they don't follow the rules. They have over 200 of them in this town, and they're not a permitted use. It's non-conforming. So
Overall, I'm for your text amendment. I think the goal should be to try to limit them in town. I mean, they keep growing and growing. And one, it takes away single-family homes from people that want to live here year-round. There's hardly any for sale in town. The other thing, it kind of gives people that have families and little kids, they can know they can move to a residential area and not worry about who's coming and going next door. I do have a question about the STR shall be a minimum of 14 days and occupied by one family. I'm not real comfortable with family. The zoning regs do define family, and I just question 5 persons also. I mean, I don't even know if we need that in there, or,
I feel like you do, Ann. I don't think that particularly
like, it could
belongs
be
in there.
best friends coming. I
Well, and
don't
people
think
come
it-
down for weddings and family events, too.
Yeah, I don't think we need to say it has to
So-
be occupied by a family.
So we can strike out the one family.
That's just me.
Well,
Yeah, that's not
So the
Family.
consensus, I'll strike that out of the language you chose.
I mean, our zoning regulations said a family shall be one or more persons living together as a single housekeeping unit who are all related by blood, marriage, or adoption, or B, a group consisting of not more than 5 persons living together as a single housekeeping unit who are unrelated by blood, marriage, or adoption, or a combination of A and B, provided that such persons shall live together in a single housekeeping unit, and the number shall not exceed 3, but I don't think it matters if they live together before.
I don't even know
if
how
they're
that got in
related.
there. Bill, did you add that in there? Because I didn't. And
Either confirm or deny, but we certainly can strike it if you'd like.
yes, let's strike that, please.
So we want to end it at the last word in the sentence to be days.
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, I certainly agree with off-site parking shall be provided.
Other towns, too, have added contact information in case if there's a problem. Mr. Peck had also said, too, he attended one of the meetings, and he said that, you know, if they have 3 incidences that are verified with either the police or the zoning, the zoning department, that, you know, they would be, you know, taken off for a period of, I think it was a year. Kathy, do you remember what it was, a year?
Yes, I think it was a year, yeah.
On number H, I was a little confused. I was wondering if it could just say contact information for the SDR shall be provided by the property owner.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That,
Well,
I thought we had in there that there should be 24/7 contact information, like,
that's good.
yeah,
It was in there.
it wasn't, I thought it was in there, but
It was.
I
should
think
add
it
that.
should, yeah, 24/7 contact information for the STR shall be on the lease, provided on the lease by the property owner.
Provided on the lease by the property owner. Okay.
Can we talk about the permit fee?
Mm-hmm.
$500 is nothing.
To who?
Well,
Believe it or not, it's a lot.
but,
It's a
you know,
lot.
our zoning department is already stressed, and now we're adding this to it, which means somebody has to keep track of it. And it's going to put her, or it, whoever, on overtime. I think $1,500 is not unreasonable.
Oh, I was going to say that $250 I thought would be reasonable.
Well, if you look at the numbers from what everybody else is charging, because that's what we kind of gather ideas from, not that we're going to do it just because somebody else is doing it. The median was $600. Was that correct, Kathy?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was $600.
May I ask, does anybody, what's the average nightly rate? Does anyone know? I don't.
it depends on the property.
They make up their own fees. It varies.
I don't know.
Summertime, it's more than
It
than
depends
winter.
on the property. If it's just a small property, it could be $197 a night, or,
1,500 to 1,500 ballpark. So if you're doing that 200 days a year, what's the fee worth? Because that's a significant amount of money, so I think you look at it from those eyes. And remember, I may need to hire another half-time person.
Right.
Not that we're getting any money out of it, because in the general fund. So if we start tracking these things, and if we move this forward, as a department, we've got to start tracking all of this stuff.
I think, too, that people
I
need,
know most of you know that we're kind of overwhelmed right now.
but I think, too, people need to understand they are a business. It's a business.
I can put in whatever number you all decide.
2,500.
Oh,
I think 500, I'm fine with 500, to be honest. I mean, we want to be reasonable.
we found the lowest
let's-
number and the highest number, and we kind of went in the middle.
Let's think about this logically. How much an hour do we allot for an administrative person? $50 an hour? $40 an hour?
No,
They're going to love you.
it's like 30, maybe 25. They don't make that much.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
because you have to include insurance and all of that, which they don't get.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't come in their paycheck.
Yeah, it doesn't come in my paycheck, but the
But if-
insurance in any insurance is, if you get insurance in your workplace, that's a significant number in today's world. And it's part of the benefits of working for whether it's a school, a state, or a community, or in some other business. I think electric both of us are very good at too.
So how many do you think are in East Lyme right now? Is it still between 200 and 300?
Yes. I think it's about
So-
217.
So that's, but if you figure that's 300 hours, that's at 40-hour weeks, 300 hours is a lot of time out of the week for that, any administrative assistant, full-time, part-time, or whatever.
Well, it should be
So
part-time,
we
but
should be covering not only her time, but the time for our zoning official who has to go and look at it.
that's if there's a problem. I mean, I think for the most part, people are going to comply to the regulations, and they're only going to get a complaint if there's an issue.
Well, if there is an issue, I think after one complaint, they should get the axe.
No, they're getting 3.
Okay, I'll compromise on the 1,500 with the 3.
No, 503.
I have a question. Do you think you need to require a safety check from the fire department?
We can't require it because they don't work for us.
Okay.
So that's kind of a separate issue because we're a zoning entity, so you control what you control.
Yeah.
Because some towns do require...
That did come up.
We can amend. If you go forward then and do this, then we would create a form and we would refer it to the fire marshal and the building official because that's something we review as a matter of policy in the office so that they were aware that these activities were going on. And if they choose to take some kind of action or require something, then they would. So that's one way of at least noticing.
Right, and I think people are going to make sure their units are nice, because, you know what I mean, it's a business, so they're going to want to keep it up to date, make sure everybody's safe, and if they want to have return clientele, then, you know, they generally keep them up nice.
And just a reminder, if we vote on this, it means we would have public hearings for the public to give their...
Right.
It wouldn't go into the regulations until we had public hearings and then looked at what we're, suggesting and then vote on it.
Yep.
So should I read it again with the corrections on here, Madam Chair, to make sure that it's officially into the record the correct way? So
Sure.
hopefully we get, okay. So I'm going to read the corrected ones. So the ones that are corrected is E, the short-term rental shall be a minimum of 14 days, period. We took out the family part. H is contact information for the short-term rental shall be provided 24/7 by the property owner to the zoning commission office. And the permit fee, I think it should stay at 500. Because that was the medium, range. I mean, it's a year. It's not like every time it's rented. It's a year.
I think we should consider having the permit fee being enough that they're taken seriously. So we don't want it so low that, okay, $250 and people can rent out their house for 2 weeks during Celebrate East Lyme or whatnot. So I think that we should consider the opposite end of people taking their home and their house seriously, and they are considered a business.
I agree. What would you recommend for the amount?
I wouldn't mind $1,000.
Okay.
You're at 500.
I'm flexible. Whatever.
I think that to me, the text amendment is close enough to pass to have a hearing because we can, based on the feedback we get from the public, we can make changes after the hearing. That's me.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the short-term rentals
To go to public hearing.
it has to go to a public hearing, for it to go to a public hearing,
I second.
As you read into the record.
as I read into the record.
And you're voting to move it to public hearing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Only, yes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? It passed 600, and we will set up a public hearing so we can hear what the public has to say.
And I'd like to say thank you to my partner Kathy Uhas.
Thank you to both of you for
Yes.
working so many
Good
long
job.
hours.
It was a lot, and we took it very seriously, and we read every single document that was put in front of us multiple times, so we would just want to be fair.
It was very educational.
Thank you both. New business, we will be having the application of Miroslav Pinkos. I'm not sure how, sorry if I crucified that name, for a coastal area management site plan review to demolish and construct a single-family dwelling at 8 Billow Road, Niantic. And Mr. Mulholland, could you please schedule that? Is there any more business the committee wants to bring up tonight?
I would like to re-ask for maps, Mr. Mulholland, that are all, there's one big map that has all the aquifers, because we're going to be having an Aquifer Protection Agency meeting as soon as you can get us on the schedule. And I think it would be very helpful for all the commissioners to see exactly when we're talking about where everything is. I think it's important that we all know. There is one map it's big, but it has everything. I haven't yet to see it, but.
So when will you be scheduling that aquifer protection
No, I
meeting?
gotta look at your schedule. There is even though it's not my turn, there is suddenly a lot of significant things in the wings. And you're going to be busy. It may not be for a few months.
We didn't we a few years back have a report that had updated aquifer maps in it?
I have all of that in the office.
Yeah, okay.
That's all readily available.
I know that there's one map that I'm looking for. It's one big map, and it has everything. There's one left at the town hall somewhere.
I may be in my office actually. I'll look for it. As you all know, we're slim, but I will find it for you. We're just going to be really busy, so I gotta find this slot. I will find one. Things look like we're going to have a little slower period for a few weeks, and that'll be an opportunity to plug in a date.
Is there anything?
It's important because if we don't manage to have decent water to drink, land in town's worth zero.
Well, I understand that, but our aqua regs is kind of a different discussion, but I will schedule it.
Thank you.
Correspondence, I just want to share an email I received with the rest of you. It was from Attorney Bleasdale. Everyone, the 830G moratorium was officially signed and filed, but he did a really nice email of the schedule and the procedure, where it goes and how it pans out from here. So I just thought you would be interested.
Thank you. Terrific,
Very
yes.
complicated.
It's extremely complicated.
Thank you.
And there's more copies up here for everyone. All right, public delegations. Public delegations is a time when members of the public are invited to speak to the commission regarding zoning land use items that are not on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak tonight? No? Okay, we'll move on to Mr. Mulholland again.
So as I just noted, we're going to be busy in the future. There's a lot of things cooking all of a sudden, even though we've been discovered. I think the completion of the bridge, which is starting to be anticipated by a lot of people, all across at 74, it's going to spur some redevelopment, some renewal. There are some tire old buildings up in that area. I think we will do assemble parcels and maybe do something and to renew and do, we have architectural design, so we may see some of that area become redeveloped. So there's a lot of people inquiring around town, so we'll keep you posted. Nothing specific, but I've had conversations. We're going to have a little quiet period, a couple of weeks with the commission, so we're kind of tailing off from our spring push. And you might get a little break, because I think we've done almost every week for almost a month.
I have one question. I know Jessica was really good about keeping a chart of when we're mandated to have zoning training.
Yes, speaking of that, we had an email go around the other day. Training's available. Our town planner and I have been talking, and we've sent these out to our staff to look at the list. Jessica has a spreadsheet. Who needs what training? It's mandated. So we will be sending out an email. This, I think, was this week.
We don't want to miss that because we can't participate.
Right, we can't vote, so if everybody's not up to date on their training, which is mandated by the state of
We
Connecticut.
have some new members that will need that training.
Okay. Ms. Hardy, do you have anything for us tonight? I do. Good.
Good evening. Where to start? There's just a lot going on. You people don't have all the action. So, for your records, there'll be a special, there'll be a number of special meetings coming up soon to reflect on the budget. And last night, the Board of Selectmen met, and we, for just a general overview open to the public of the budget procedure, we had 2 people in the audience. We then proceeded to the second part of the meeting, which also had 2 people in the audience. You people don't know what it's like. So I think there have been a large number of hearings this year related to the budget, financing, and grants, and I can't remember a time when there have been this many meetings and sessions, and I think people are just tired and want to get on with the budget approval, which will be happening at the annual town meeting, May 11th, if you could put that on your agenda, Monday at 7:30 at the high school. This is commentary from any in the public, and hopefully there will be a good turnout. And then the actual, as you know by our recent charter revision, the budget can no longer be approved just by the town meeting. It must go to a referendum, and that referendum is scheduled vote one day only for Thursday, May 21st, and that will be at the community center. Parks and Rec has prompted a lot of interest and discussion and concerns over use of the playing fields. And normally I wouldn't report on something like that, but because there has been so much controversy and some innuendos about illegal activities. So the problem, which has prompted a lot of interest and concern, is that all of our town playing fields are maintained, of course, by Parks and Rec. Any of our local teams, such as Babe Ruth, Little League, they play on the fields for free, and we maintain those at town expense. What came to our attention is that there is a private entity that has been booking space on the fields, and it is a for-profit. The students or children pay to belong to that group, and yet that group was using the fields and not being charged.
How long have they been using it?
I would say before this problem came to our attention, probably 2 years. So this private group is a travel group, and they consist of students or players who are town residents, but then there are players from other towns who participate also. So the problem has come to at least a temporary resolution in that this private group called the Shell Shockers will pay a fee, but it would not be the total cost that just an outside group coming in to use the property. It's a reduced fee because there are East Lyme children who play in that league as well. Turned out to be quite complicated and to figure out this, but to try to go back and try to collect past fees and pay attorney fees, it just did not seem that that was a reasonable solution. And so at least this seems to be satisfactory for the time being. The town has received an appropriation from the opioid settlement funds of $14,000, and the police department is going to use that to establish a bicycle unit, which will be fully equipped. We will have police officers that are trained and bicycle management, bicycle ride, but they
On
will
non-sidewalked roads.
they will be, this is, I think, will turn out to be a big advantage because there are many areas of town where we still have old-time roads and areas that really a police vehicle cannot easily get into for regular and routine things. Also, we're hoping for increased community participation and reporting. If you think about it, you saw something that you thought was wrong, you might be hesitant, particularly as a teenager or a young person, to approach a police vehicle, but a police officer on a bicycle is a little more approachable. Also, when we have major traffic backups, this provides for more mobility.
How
and
many
easier mobility.
bicycles will be in the fleet?
That we're going to have to pay for.
That is to be determined. I don't have the exact number here. So these would not be full-time officers that only use the bicycles. There'd be special training, and then there would be rotation among the force for those people who were interested. So that's $14,000 to outfit them, to have them trained, and to fully equip them. We may not use all the money, but don't expect you're going to get your hands on any of it. We also received $79,000 in a federal grant for the cost of purchasing equipment and services for the Department of Emergency Management. So that's definitely good news.
Is that still with the police department? The Department of Emergency Management, is that in that?
Yes, that's in that building.
So they got $79,000 to them plus another $14,000?
No, there'd be two separate. Emergency management is separate, but they're in the same building.
Oh, okay.
So, the I-95 project, as I think you just mentioned, is moving along quite smoothly, and fortunately coming to an end. Can't believe it, ahead of schedule, which seems like it's gone on forever. But they finished really all of the steel work and the underlying part, so it's going to be a little bit easier going from this point. The Historic Properties Commission has a vacancy. Looking if you know of someone who might be interested in that. Tony Adatazio was selected to fill the vacancy on the Board of Selectmen, and so he could not serve on that, particularly as it would be a conflict of interest. So he has resigned, and that vacancy exists. I mentioned the annual town meeting dates, the referendum dates, and the good news on our bridge and project coming to completion. I hope any of you don't have to travel across the Groton to London Bridge. That is an absolute nightmare.
At rush hour, anyway.
Not even at rush hour. It took me to come from Pawcatuck to get just across the bridge. It took me 1 hour yesterday.
At night, it seems to be okay, like 7 or 8, I've noticed.
That's what a lot of us would be doing, I think.
I think it took me 38 minutes.
I just want to double check to make sure. There are new regulations approved for inland wetlands, which somebody on zoning, I think, should take a look at and perhaps give an overview report to your commission. Let's see what else here. I think that's it, unless anybody has any questions.
I have a question for Mr. Mulholland. I was out at Latimer Brook, and because of the construction over there, you know, when the fish go up the ladder and stuff, the silt fence was completely down. It was laying on the ground alongside the water. So I don't know who is in charge of that.
It's a state project, so we have no jurisdiction whatsoever. But that would be to their construction management group. There's a trailer out there. I can talk to Alex and ask him to talk to Alex, our town engineer, and see if he would contact them.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody else also brought that to my attention, so people are seeing it happen.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
Oh, no, his questions are always big time.
Did I understand that the town received a significant sum from the state,
Yes,
like 700 and some odd dollars?
yes,
How does that affect our budget?
to be determined.
Okay,
We were just notified of that a short time ago.
thank you.
That's
So-
really good news.
Yeah, so budget time, as I said, has been pretty stressful this time around. And if any of the rest of you are dealing with stress, the Flanders Donut and Bake Shop, their donut of the month is salted caramel.
thank you.
If you need a stress reliever. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hardy.
Moving on, it looks like Miss Martinez is attending the next planning meeting.
That's the plan.
Okay, thank you. And I'm good tonight. I don't have anything else to share. Do we have a motion to
I
adjourn?
make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 600, we're adjourned. Thank you.